The leadership of the Liberian Association of Australia and the citizens of Liberia residing in Australia. I bring you greetings from the people of Liberia. A few years ago, I served as keynote speaker at the annual conference of the Liberian Student Union of China through the media. Today, I speak to the people of Liberia residing in Australia and across the world through the media again. I could not be present in Queensland, Australia, due to some challenges. But no distance, no ocean, and no border can separate me from you, because we are tied by blood, by struggle, and by hope. I greet you on this great day, the 178th birthday of the Republic of Liberia, the first independent republic in Africa. A land of liberty, a land of promise, but also a land betrayed by its own leaders. Today, I come not just to celebrate, but to challenge you, to challenge all of us to wake up, stand up, and take back our country from the hands of greed and failure. On this day, I have chosen to speak to the Liberian citizens and people of Liberian descent residing in Australia and the greater Liberian diaspora on the topic from raw materials to real development, a time for transformational leadership. Given the level of underdevelopment and poverty that have existed in Liberia since its independence, I am compelled to begin this speech by asking the question, what kind of country is this? A country that declared itself independent in 1847. A country that started exporting palm oil, pepper, wood, and cassava even before the independence of Liberia in 1847. In 2025, 178 years later, is still exporting raw logs, raw rubber, raw iron ore, raw gold, raw diamond, everything raw. Let me ask you this question. Why is Liberia not a furniture exporter? We export logs, but import chairs. We cut down trees, but we buy decks from overseas. We mine iron ore, but we import products that are made out of iron ore. Why is Liberia not building a steel plant instead of another iron ore concentrator? Liberia had a concentrator and a pelletizing plant before the civil conflict. The breaking news should be a steel plant, not a concentrator. Why is Liberia still importing sanitary gloves when we produce natural rubber? Why is Liberia not adding value to its gold and diamonds? Until Liberia changes the quality of its exports, Liberia will remain underdeveloped and poor. There will continue to be a high level of unemployment because we export jobs, high-paying jobs, by exporting raw materials. In such a country, reconciliation, unity, and lasting peace are impossible. Because mass poverty creates mass hunger, and a country with many hungry people is obviously an angry nation. Anger is the main source, if not the only source of violence, thereby undermining internal peace and security. Let me tell you something, my people. The problem is not God. God has done nothing bad to us. The problem is not the soil we have. The problem is not the rain or the sunshine, because other countries don't even have the sunshine and rain that we have. It is a problem of poor leadership. Look at our neighbors, rising while we crawl. Let's look around us. I want to take a few countries. Ghana is making chocolate, textiles, and refining its gold. Ivory Coast is exporting processed rubber, cocoa butter, chocolate, canned pineapple, and electricity. Botswana is 70% desert, but is stable, clean, and prosperous by exporting meat and polished diamonds. Rwanda is landlocked, but it is packaging coffee, building tech hubs, and running clean cities, as well as attracting tourists from all over the world, turning the history of its civil war into tourist attraction, while we are struggling with the issue of accountability for war crimes committed during our civil conflict. Cape Verde has no forest, but it has electricity, transparency, and working systems. Mauritius and Seychelles have no minerals, but they've built thriving tourism and banking systems. So what is wrong with Liberia? We have beaches from Cape Mountain to Cape Palmas. We have rivers and forests, as well as fertile soil. In fact, we have 40% of the remaining tropical forest in the Gulf of Guinea. We have iron ore, gold, diamonds, rubber, oil palm, and wood, amongst many others. We have great sunshine and high rainfall, something lacking in some countries that are more developed than Liberia in Africa. God has given us everything, but we are poor. Why? I can only say it is because our leaders over the years have turned government into a business to enrich themselves, not to serve us. Let me now turn to the diaspora, Liberia's missing engine for transformation. Let me say this on this Independence Day to every Liberian in Australia, in the United States, in Europe, in Asia, in the Middle East, Canada, China, Latin America, and other parts of Africa. We need you. We cannot build a better Liberia without you. You are the ones who send money every month to pay school fees, hospital bills, and rent. You are the ones keeping a lot of families alive in Liberia. You are the silent backbone of this nation, but we no longer want you to be silent. You are not just remitters and should not just be remitters. You are reformers. You are not just donors. You are developers. You are not just supporters. You are citizens with a mission. Look at Rwanda's diaspora. Look at Ghana's diaspora. They are returning with knowledge, skills, capital, and vision. They are investing in businesses, building hospitals, and supporting innovation. Why not Liberia? And why not now? You have seen what good roads look like in Australia and other parts of the world. You know what functional hospitals feel like. You lived under governments that fear their people, not the other way around. Come and help us change Liberia. But not from a distance. Join us to build the Liberia we all dream of. A Liberia that keeps its talent, not exports it. A Liberia where you can come, build a life, and say, "This is my home. I helped to build it." We don't need just your money. We need your voices, your votes, your values, your presence. Come join us. Let's rise together. Because a better Liberia is not a fantasy in my view. It is a responsibility and a possibility. And the time is now. We threw away good plans for national development many years ago. More than 40 years ago, President William R. Talbot said, "The soil is our bank." He promoted self-reliance, import substitution, export promotion, rural development. He wanted to move Liberians from mats to mattresses, He said, not aid, but trade. President Talbot had this vision long before President Trump. That vision was right then. It is still right today. But leaders that have come after Talbot have thrown this great vision away. No more. We should no more trash good ideas for political convenience. No more. We'll take the wisdom of the past and use it to build a future. No more will we throw good ideas away. That is why we said in 2023 in our 10-point agenda for a better Liberia, and we still say today, let's reduce taxes for companies that operate far away from Monrovia. Why? We need to do so in order to grow the rural economy, to stop people from rushing to Monrovia as they do now, to reduce the high crime rate in Monrovia and other parts of Liberia, especially the urban areas, to spread jobs and opportunities all across Liberia. That is how we will build a balanced nation, not just the capital city with few tall buildings and poor, underdeveloped countrysides. And yes, it is still possible with a visionary, honest, and people-oriented leadership that respects the rule of law. No agenda will work without integrity. You can write Vision 2024. I was done under President Taylor. Vision 2030. I was done under President Saye. The Pro Agenda for Prosperity and Development, PAPD. I was done under President Weah. The Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, as President Bwaka has come out with. And any other agenda by whatsoever name, if there is no accountability, it will fail. If there is no rule of law, it will collapse. If there is no integrity, it will just be another slogan. Because the truth is that you cannot build a new Liberia with the same old mindset. Let's stop celebrating mediocrity, my people. Let me say this with all honesty. We must stop encouraging our leaders to be satisfied with low performance. Too often we say, at least this government is trying. Trying? Trying is not enough when children are dying from preventable diseases. Trying is not enough when students sit on the floor with no books. Trying is not enough when civil servants go months without pay. Trying is not enough when other countries are building clean cities, digital governments, and exporting technology. No, we cannot settle for our leaders' failure by simply saying they try. We must expect results, not just effort. We must expect excellence, not excuses. We must say, trying is not leading. Delivering is leading. Liberia can do better, and we must stop settling for less. When I ran to be president of Liberia in 2023, I didn't promise the Liberian people rice and t-shirts. I promised the Liberian people the rule of law, accountability, jobs from production, not from handouts, a government that works, not one that steals. Because government is a place to serve, not to steal. And I want you to say it wherever you are in the world, in Australia and other parts of the world. Government is a place to serve, not to steal. I repeat, government is a place to serve, not to steal. Let us rise. Let us sweep, my people, on this July 26th. Let's stop celebrating independence like a routine. Let's use it as a reset, a new beginning. Let's say we will no longer sit while thieves run our country. We will no longer cheer incompetence and mediocrity. We will no longer be fooled by big speeches and empty promises. We will rise. We will organize. We will mobilize. And yes, we will sweep this country clean. That's why I carry the broom. Not as a decoration, but as a tool to call the attention of all Liberians to the need for the transformation of Liberia. We will sweep out corruption, dishonesty, selfishness, and greed, and we will sweep in the rule of law, vision, service, productivity, and dignity. A new day is coming. Liberia is not a failed state. It is a betrayed state. Liberia is not cursed. It is blessed, but badly led. Now is the time to stand up. Now is the time to rise. Now is the time to say, we are tired of watching others move forward while we move backward. We can no more accept being poor in a rich land. We are ready to lead, and we will lead. Happy Independence Day, my people. May God bless you. May God bless our struggle. And may God bless this great nation, the Republic of Liberia. Because a better Liberia is possible. I thank you.